Welcome to my new channel called Elixir with a Noob. Now, the goal of this channel is to make you aware of the crucial concepts of Elixir. My topic for today, the video is I'm going to explain about the processes, how processes works in Elixir. So this tutorial or this video assumes that you've already installed Elixir and you've got it up and running on your machine. Now let's launch the IEX. Yep, so we have a construct in Elixir called spawn to spawn a process or to create a process. Now let's see what spawn does. Now the documentation in Elixir is itself a first class citizen, so you have access to the documentation as if it's a function call. So you can see there are two forms of spawn. The one is which takes in a function, and another is which takes in a module function and a list of arguments. So let's try and experiment something. Let's try, let me clear the screen first. Yep, so let's try spawn. So let's try the first form when it takes in a function. It takes in a function io.putS. I'll say hello and I'll spawn it. Yep, so it echoes hello. Now from this we are not quite sure whether it runs in a separate process or not. So just to prove the fact that it actually runs in a separate process, let's say process.sleep, and let's pass in a delay of 2000 milliseconds or 2 seconds. So now you can see it echo after 2 seconds. Yep, so it is echoed. Now let's do something interesting. Now let's interact with the process. So for that I need a new file. Let's create a new file called demo.exs. Yep, so I've created a new file. Let's keep the terminal up here. Diff module demo. Let's have a function called greet here. Pretty simple function. Now what we are going to do is we are going to wait for a message to be received, and we are going to react to it, right? So we can say receive. So we can say receive it. It takes in a block, and we can say name. So it's going to say output hello name. So we can say hello name. Yep. So let's come back over on the right hand side and let's compile it. So the way to compile it is we can say c demo.exs. Yep, it's compiled. So now we are going to try the other form of spawn, which is the module function argument form. You can say demo, the function is greet, and you don't have any arguments. Yep, so it spawned a new process. Now we are going to send a message to the process. So for that we have send, but before that, let's just as you can see, it returns the PID or the process identifier. So let's store the process identifier. We can use the v-1 notation. Yep, so we now have the process. How can we interact with the process? By sending it a particular message. Now to send a message to a process, we are going to use a construct called send. Now let's see the documentation of send. So you can see this send destination, there's a PID, and then you have a message. So let's say send the PID, and I am sending let's say a noob. Yep, so as you can see, it printed hello a noob, and it returned me the same message that I sent. So the send method, as you can see, it will just return me the message it has sent. But what it has done is it has actually sent a string called a loop to this to a process in the greet. So what it actually does is it will, so now the process is actually blocked on this call for called receive. So as soon as it actually gets the the message Anoop, then it sort of pattern match here. It pattern match on name and it prints hello Anoop. So let's try and send something else. Let's say send John. Oops. So the difference we can see is that over here so this time it didn't print hello John. It just echoed the fact that it just it just echoed the string join, which is what's send returns. So it means that our process is our process actually no more. It has died. Yeah. So how can we actually get it to respond to the string that we are sending from over here again and again? So for that we are uh, we can just say a greet over here, and we can call greet again, so that it again comes back here and it again gets blocked on the receive method. Now in Alexa you don't have any direct concept of loops, so Alexa uses recursion. Yep, so we made a change here. Now let's recompile. For recompiling, uh, I will just say R and I'll just say the module name demo. Yep, so it's recompiled. So now let's spawn it again. So I'm going to say pit spawn. Yep, and then I'm going to say John. Hello John. I can say hello Anoop. Yep, so it's working. Yep. So now let's do something more interesting. Let's record the fact that how many people have actually greeted you. So yep, so let's do that. So for that, let me just clear the screen. Let me come over to the left hand side and let's maintain a count. So whenever somebody has greeted me, I'm going to come here and I'm going to record the fact that somebody has greeted me. So I'm going to say count plus 1, and I'm going to call it with a count of count plus 1. So now let's make a little bit of formatting up. So now let's recompile it again. We say out of demo. So now let's spawn. So this time, since it takes an argument, I'm going to say spawn demo greet and 0. Yeah. So now let's send in Anoop. Yep. So it is outputted 1. Now let's say John. Yeah. Now let's say Jack. Hey, this is something which is really cool. I'm able to maintain a state inside my process, so it's able to maintain the state. Now let's interact with it in a little bit different way. Let's say that we had an ability to set the count. So let's come back over here and let's say that if I receive a tuple called set count, I'm going to set the count. I'm going to record the fact that I'm going to say io.puts and I'm going to say set to something like this. mm, something like this, and I'm going to call the method greet with that count. Now let's come over, recompile it, and let's say 0. So I'm going to send Jack. I'm going to send John. It's 2. Then then the count is 2. I'm going to send in a message which is a tuple. I'm going to set this to 100. Yep. So you can say so you can see that the count is set to 100. To prove that, I'm going to say, let's say, Anoop. Yep. So Anoop is the so for Anoop the count is actually 101. So it started from 100. Goal is to keep bringing these kind of interesting concepts for you in Elixir. So please keep watching the channel. Do like, share, and subscribe to it. Yep. So that's it. Thanks, guys.